What's going on there, guys? Good evening. It is your Earthmaster here on this Saturday, April 23rd, 2022 date, about 7:30 p.m. I'm out here with Missy Mimi's.
How's it going, guys?
She's out there in the background and just kind of hanging out here, getting some yard work done. Got a bunch of foxtails in my socks earlier, but that has since been resolved. Looking at the latest earthquake activity here on the Earthquake 3D globe, shows a 3.2 earthquake here in the Indonesia Islands region. It looks like just into the area south of the Philippines there. We did see some further earthquake activity ramping up here throughout the day since the last earthquake update this morning. Let's go ahead and check out this activity here. We did see a 5.7 here in the Kuril Islands within the last hour. This earthquake activity here is within the watch zone. Of course, we had the 6-pointers here in the Japan area a couple weeks ago. We're waiting on some further large-scale movement here in the area of the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench. 5.7 earthquake here, about 19.8 kilometers below the surface. Not sufficient, though, in the amount of earthquake activity that has been built up here within the region. So we are still watching this area pretty closely. Up here in the northern end of the Cascadia subduction zone, we had a 5.3 earthquake off the coast here of Port McNeill, Canada, at 10 kilometers, kind of out there in the Seamount area. Looks like the Delwood Seamount region, but it is just shy of the Cascadia subduction zone, which kind of sits right here off to the east a little bit here by about 20 miles or so out there in the basin. This is the Explorer Plate. Got the Explorer Plate up here in the north, Juan de Fuca Plate in the middle, and the Gorda Plate down south here. So a little bit of activity kicking up here in that area of the Cascadia subduction zone. West Coast movement. Nothing major going above 2.5 threshold, just a little bit of activity throughout the West Coast region into the Southern California area. Looks like one earthquake here within the last hour near Little Lake. A little bit of movement here around the Ridgecrest area and the Long Valley supervolcano area. But overall, no major swarms to report, no major activity to report here along the West Coast of the United States. Into the Yellowstone area. Let's go ahead and check out that movement here. We'll go ahead and refresh this latest data. And earlier, I should say much earlier this morning, we did see a little bit of activity, earthquake activity ramping up here in the northwest corner of the park. But since then, no major movement to report. Looks like a little, I kind of want to draw out Little West Thumb here. This is not earthquake activity. It's not major ground movement. It's not any type of volcanic activity. Please don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This is all just some technical errors going on with the seismograph stations there at Little West Thumb. If this was a major movement going on, trust me, folks, we would be seeing this at all the local seismograph stations. So that's a key point to take note of when you see unusual activity. Sometimes we'll see the graphs go up, so to speak, or upside down. It all depends. But that is not any type of ground movement. It's not any type of volcanic activity. It's basically technical errors in a seismograph station there locally. If we were looking at ground movement, we would see the ground movement show up across all the localized stations here. So I'm just kind of putting that at rest. I see a lot of YouTube stations throwing out the fear-mongering subject. Oh, look at this graph. It's going upwards. We got ground movement, folks. So please don't fall for the fear-mongering amongst the other high-profile stations here on the YouTube channel. Just don't fall for it. Looking at the rest of the map here, a little bit of activity throughout the western part of Texas. A couple twos kicking off there, including a 3.1 in the mix. And one earthquake out here, 2.2 near Horntown. There we go, Horntown. I said Horton, but Horntown, Oklahoma, 1.1 kilometers for a 2.2. And I can only imagine what's going on out here amongst the topography of the land, right? What do we got within the region? Probably some fracking operations or gas and well operations going on throughout the land of Oklahoma. All right, what else do we have going on out here along the eastern part of the country? There's not a whole lot going on, folks. Look at that. New Madrid zone, pretty quiet. Eastern part of the country, quiet as well. One earthquake way up here in Maine, a 2.5 at 4.7 kilometers. Otherwise, no major doom and gloom on the eastern part of the country. Puerto Rico, seeing some movement around the southwestern edge. I did want to pull up the activity map here. Since about 2020, okay? We kind of pointed out this activity earlier, and we're kind of giving out an update on the activity that has taken place here in the southwestern portion of Puerto Rico. So look at that activity since about 2020. Now, check this out. This is only the 2.5 and above. We got 4,209 earthquakes on the southwestern edge of Puerto Rico. That's a major amount of activity here. If we were to include the all activity map, probably squash my computer or maybe shut it down. Who knows? We'd probably be looking at 10,000 or more since about 2020 in this area. So this area, we got a couple different scenarios going on here. We got a couple different troughs here, a couple different subduction zones down here to the south. And also, we got the Puerto Rico subduction zone up here to the north. So we got land moving upwards, right, creating this uplift, so to speak. So this is in an area where we see quite a bit of a tectonic uplift in terms of squeezing, so to speak, between two different major plates here. We got the North American plate up here in the north, and we got the Caribbean plate down here to the south. So subduction zone. And what that creates is quite a bit of plate tectonic activity and movement. And is there a possibility of seeing larger scale movement? Possibly. I specifically believe up here around the Puerto Rico Trench, so to speak, any trenches have a major possibility in producing a significant size earthquake. But far as the general swarming going on here, that is what is the cause, for the most part, between this North American plate and the Caribbean plate down here in the south. So we got a trough down here, subduction zone up here to the north. Uplift, and it's just in that area where we see that major activity kicking up here, folks. Over the last 24 hours, looking at the all magnitudes, we got about 20 earthquakes. And this is kind of minimal here. We're kind of lacking activity. If you look at the last 7 days of activity, it kind of ramps up a little bit. About 82 earthquakes within this region of the Puerto Rico area. All right, what else we got here, folks? South America region, still seeing a little bit of activity ramping up here. A couple fours kicking up and down the Peru-Chile Trench. And, of course, the Nicaragua. Let's spit it out. There we go. Still seeing a swarm of aftershocks following the activity here a couple days ago, following that large 6.7 earthquake. So we're looking at aftershock sequences here, not only upstream in the subduction zone area, further upstream in the locked area, but also down dip here with these deeper earthquakes there, about 58 kilometers or so into that Middle America Trench. So still watching that. Quite a bit of pressure building up in that region of that area. What else we got? West Coast, like I said, not a whole lot going on. There's no major swarms to report. The big island of Hawaii lighten up a little bit around Mauna Loa. Got a 2.0 right smack dab on the crater and the top of Mauna Loa volcano. Very shallow surface earthquake activity here at 2.0. Like I said, right smack dab at the mountain there at the crater. And prior to that, a couple earthquakes down here in the south part. Of course, that activity continuing since about 1960. Some deeper movement in ongoing swarm of activity for about 60 years or so in that area of the Big Island. What else we got here, Missy Mimi's?
Japan.
The Kuril Trench.
Trench.
Kuril-Kamchatka Trench. We got a little earthquake activity of 5.7, 19 kilometers. So this earthquake here is very important in terms of the region of the earthquake activity, because we've been watching this region here, right about here, northern end of the Japan Trench, northward to about the end of the Aleutian Islands, for some major activity. It's been our quiet zone for quite some time. We've been talking about that for many months now. And right now we got a 5.7, but I think that is very minimal in terms of what we should see pretty soon in terms of the accumulated stress that has been ongoing here for about a year or so. It's just, it really hasn't produced any major earthquake activity. So we're watching that. A 5.7 could be a prelude of something much bigger in terms of a mega quake in this area. So watch that area pretty closely. Japan itself, a little bit of movement here in the Japan Trench and some shallow earthquake activity as well. Some movement going on around the Papua New Guinea area, Indonesia, a little scattered activity. We are lacking earthquake movement in the Tonga Trench and the Kermadec Islands area and New Zealand for some major activity. It's lacking, and it's just not there. So we're watching that pretty closely.
What's the earthquakes for the EMSC saying for down there?
Let's see what we got for the EMSC model. We will check that out here real quick. And as far as any major earthquake activity, nothing. Zip zero, nada going on for earthquake activity. But when we stretch it down to the 3.5, 2.0, there's still not a whole lot. It's only a couple, only a little handful of earthquakes here in the New Zealand area. So we got to watch that area pretty closely.
Definitely noteworthy
for some movement. And just got to watch that area pretty closely. We haven't seen any major activity stretching up from that region. So the tremor map tonight doesn't show anything except for, well, what is it? Is today 23rd?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So it looks as though they are updating their tremor map roughly around 7 p.m. So we're going to have to check back on that. Normally I do my updates right around 6 p.m. 7:30 p.m. We're looking at tremor activity showing up. For today, 95 epicenters of tremor, mostly around the area of the Seattle area, just west of Seattle, and a little bit down here in the southern Oregon area. Looking at yesterday's movement here, shows a little bit of activity around Seattle, but otherwise pretty minimal compared to today's movement. Let's see. We checked out Yellowstone, right? We checked out the tremor map. We checked out activity going on around the globe. There's no major movement aside from this area in the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench and the northern end of the Cascadia. It's a couple upper fives, middle fives is definitely noteworthy. We're looking at terms of activity south of the equator. Kind of mellowed out right now, so we got to watch the northern ends of it. We do want to check out solar weather events here on the solar.ham website. Shows a consistent level of about C flares there. We haven't seen anything pop off here from these major sunspots that are now Earth directed. 2994, 2993, these other sunspots around the bend, and some other ones developing here, which will be Earthside facing pretty soon, have not provided us with any sufficient flaring. And it looks like these guys have dropped the flare threshold to about 10% for next flare. M flare stands at about 40% chance, and C flare of 85% chance. Didn't mean to hit you, Missy Mimis. Proton activity at about 5% chance. So these guys are dropping the dynamics here of the flare threat due to these distances here between these magnetic fields. There's a major, even though these are sunspots, these are major, the distance between these two are pretty significant. So unless we see these two, red and blue, pop together, then we're not looking at any type of major flaring activity Even up here to the north, I think we have a little bit more possibility of seeing some flare activity up to the north, and also here to 2995. But man, even as huge as they are, the dynamics are not set up right now for any major flaring activity. So we can have a flare half the size of the sun, and if the dynamics are not set up, the polarity of the magnetic fields are not set up to intermingle, then we're not going to see any type of show, any type of flaring, so to speak. So geomagnetic storming. It looks like right now we're looking at a KP index of 4. There is really not calling for anything here over the next couple nights, all green. So we're getting a little bit of flare or KP index here around the 4 level, and I'm guessing that's from the couple M flares that we've seen here a couple days ago or so. Looks like they may be giving us a glancing blow, but other than that, nothing major in the forecast in terms of activity. So, all right, folks, we're gonna do a question and answer show, and I'm gonna have Missy Mimi's. I got hiccups all of a sudden. What's going on? I got hiccups going on, so probably all those foxtails I inhaled.
Oh, goodness.
Right?
So there was one question asked during the update. And
What do we
said
got?
That we would answer it then.
What do we got?
Eric McGraw says, how accurate are the plotting of these quakes? Are they within a mile of the plot, or feet, or yards?
Plotting?
Like,
You mean the accuracy of the earthquakes itself? To what? What earthquakes?
I'm wondering if, like, in general, like.
So in general, earthquake activity is considered amongst many different stations. So, for example, if we go to this 5.3, we can check out many different seismograph stations in terms of the waveforms. And there is the stations here that they monitor very close to the area of the Vancouver Island regions for this 5.3. But I'm not for sure if I'm going to be able to spot this out. It doesn't look like it. Let's see here if I can figure this out. Waveforms. Go over here to the waveforms. So most of the time I'm not getting it. It's probably because it's from the international community. But when you go to any specific earthquake, there's always many different stations that the USGS utilizes for accuracy in terms of the distance, the depth, and whatnot, in terms of the accuracy of the earthquake, if that's what you're referring to. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I got foxtails all in my lungs, I'm sure. So the waveforms in terms of this, let's see if I can... Sometimes this just does not give me the accuracy that I want. But we're not going to go in and look at every single station here. But that's kind of what the background activity is. It looks at the USGS utilizes each individual seismograph station around an earthquake, and then they look at the depth of the earthquake and how it looks on other seismograph stations, and also the magnitude far as the levels go on every single seismograph station locally. Oh, man, foxtails.
Goodness.
How do you get foxtails out of your lungs, folks?
Basically cough them out.
I'm trying. I'm definitely trying.
It's definitely a good question, because some people may not know how they do that.
Not one individual seismograph station figures out a magnitude. That's why we see USGS sometimes updates, they downgrade, they upgrade, and that all depends on manual review of each individualized seismograph station, and measure that with others in terms of getting a correct and accurate magnitude.
He says, great, that's the answer, thank you. That's very, very good question, though.
What else we got, guys?
Robert Vogel says...
Robert, what's going on? Big shout out to Robert, big fan.
Will the solar sunspots be cause for major earthquakes in the U.S.?
So I think we've seen, in terms of earthquake activity, kind of ramp up, no doubt, from the solar flare activity. But solar sunspots, I don't think so, because as big as they are, we haven't seen a major uptick in earthquake activity following these large sunspots that are facing the Earth. It seems as though when they start popping, kind of like popcorn, flaring activity, and those flares can affect the upper atmosphere, the magnetic field of the Earth instantly, within a few seconds. The CMEs and whatnot take a couple days to get here to Earth. So I think if anything, the flaring activity has a major effect on plate tectonics and what goes on here, more than just the sunspot themselves. Because they can look there, they can sit there, like they can look pretty, but they're not doing anything. There's no major movement going on, no major activity going on here with plate tectonics when they're just sitting there. So we're waiting on flares, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. M Stall Star says hello to both of us.
What's going on there, Star?
And was wondering what the Canada earthquakes look like. We didn't look at earthquakes.
All right, let's check out Earthquakes Canada real quick here. We did, of course, see that earthquake activity off the coast of the Queen Charlotte area. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here. Look at that. They do not even have that earthquake up here on the map. So let's go back over here to the USGS map. And as you can see, there was a 5.3 earthquake off the coast of the Queen Charlotte Sound area into the area of the Cascadia subduction zone, just to the west. Okay, this line right here represents the area where the Pacific plate, or in this case, the Explorer plate, kind of subducts here underneath the North American plate. So, kind of backbending, back upstream into the plateau, if you will, of this region, the Explorer plate. That's where the 5.3 hit. So, looking at the Earthquakes Canada map, we'll go ahead and bring up the plate boundaries here real quick. And as you can see, I am not seeing the report here.
And that's a newer quake. So
yeah, it's definitely a newer quake. Right there, smack dab in this area, right? See the fracture zones here along the Pacific plate.
Yep.
Go over here to the Earth.
Yeah,
Nothing showing up on the Earthquakes Canada map. So I'm not for sure if they're behind. Maybe they're enjoying a hot toddy or two. Maybe too many. I don't know. It is the weekend. So unfortunately, these guys are not showing recent earthquake activity on the map. Aside from the rest of Canada, it's a beautiful country. I hope one day to be able to tour the area up through the western region of BC, up through the Alaska area, because I think that'd be pretty awesome to visit. But nothing. These guys are not reporting anything. The USGS, the only agency reporting here off the coast of the Queen Charlotte Sound, and that is the area of the Cascadia subduction zone with a 5.3.
Yeah, he said, hello guys, it's Cliff here from Ontario, Canada.
Ontario, what's going on there, Cliff? I
Yeah,
appreciate
so
it. Thanks for checking in.
He said, I'm glad I'm in Ontario, and thank you.
Right?
There was a little tiny quake probably a couple days ago, looks like around the Ontario area there, the very bottom.
Down here?
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit of activity stretching up here. This is from the last couple weeks of movement. It looks like about the 19th with a 1.5. So, and these guys, I don't even know if the Earthquakes Canada map is reporting every single earthquake, because it does look a little bare in terms of the center part of the country. But you got to remember, the North American craton does stretch up all the way into there as well, into the Canada region. And it dips down into the center part of the states. It's a pretty awesome feature in terms of stable land. What else we got, guys?
Hey there, Freebird.
Freebird, what's going on?
She said maybe out enjoying the beautiful weather. That's probably why they're not recording.
Right? So what else, guys? What do we got going on?
They want to know also. He wants to know also about how Mount St. Helens is doing.
So Mount St. Helens, we did check that earlier in the trimmer map. There is some activity occurring at Mount St. Helens. It's not anything major. Definitely not anything to write a book about. We've seen this activity earlier this morning kick up. A couple small microquakes in the area of Mount St. Helens at the Dome area. This is the most recent activity within the last couple hours, and we can see these spikes. Okay, those could either be ice quakes. There is a lot of snow that has been built up there over the past couple days. They've had a massive amount of weather, and I'm a little bit jealous.
Right.
But it is what it is. And those could be some ice quakes. It could be, at least on this map, I'm going to show you earlier afternoon and evening time over pretty much about a 24-hour period here. Hold on one second, guys.
There it goes.
There we go. So that earthquake right there, believe it or not, is going to be the 5.3, right? 5.3 up here in the BC area. It's really close if you think about it in terms of geology to the Mount St. Helens area. So we're looking at a distance of a couple hundred miles. So in terms of the signature itself, that is the 5.3 there off the coast of BC area, and the S waves have been provided, and they kicked up there for a couple hours, it looks like. But far as terms of local seismic activity, yes, a couple small, very small microquakes throughout the region of Mount St. Helens. What else we got, guys? Also, FYI, while Mr. Mimes is looking here, we are at 73K. 73,000 subscribers. We're actually over that right now. And we are on our way. I think by the time about midsummer hits, we are going to give our 75,000 subscriber giveaway. We're going to be doing a drawing for 6 people that will be getting a couple prizes. And that includes some, I'm going to give you guys a hint real quick, okay? We took a trip up to the Oregon coastline, and we dug throughout the tsunami area that got hit back in 1700. And we dug through the tsunami deposits. And so what we're going to provide for you is a pretty cool little, what is it? What would you call it?
A sample.
A sample of the tsunami deposit land, sediments and whatnot from the 1700 earthquake and tsunami in the Oregon coastline. And it will come in a little veil. Is it a veil?
It's a little bottle.
A little bottle where you can see the tsunami deposits and the subsequent land below and above it. So I think that's really cool in terms of geology. If you like that type of stuff, we will be giving that away. And that's only one. That one prize that you guys will be receiving. There's 2 others that will be included. And I will include the second one, okay? I'm not going to include the third one, but the second one will include either a t-shirt or a hat with the Earthmaster channel and logo. And, of course, your size that will be provided as a gift. The third one has yet to be announced, and we will announce that as we get closer to the 75,000 subscriber giveaway. But we're close, folks. We're only 2,000 away from that 75,000 subscriber giveaway. So we've come a long ways, trust me. What else we got, guys?
Cliff said, thank you, guys. Brian E. said, Mount St. Helens is in my backyard, and looking out my rear window, I can assure you that it's still there.
Right? It's definitely still there.
And Robert Vogel says, thank you guys again for all your hard work and reports tonight. Let's see. As far as questions goes, it looks like that might be it so far.
All right. All right, guys. Well, let's see here. Let's go back over here, live stream. What do we got here? I appreciate it. There remains active, is active, and will be active for quite some time. What's Brian E. talking about?
He was talking about Mount St. Helens. It's in his backyard.
Okay.
And him and Free were talking about
All right. All right, guys. Well, check it out. I'm going to give out a couple dabs here on the stream right now.
Woohoo, dabbing chicken.
Dabbing chickens. There's nothing wrong with that. Cindy Collins, you know what? And I'm going to admit it. We got to get our stickers out. Cindy Collins, we have your address. Let's do that tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're going to get our stickers going.
We've been pretty busy here, and I apologize, sincerely apologize for not getting the decals out for a couple folks out there, including Cindy Collins. And we'll get those out to you tomorrow. Please remind me when you have two little youngsters right? You got two little crazy girls, and I love them, no doubt. But yeah, they kind of put us behind just a little bit in terms of catching up on things. Volcano updates here. Weekly update. We checked that last night. Let's go back here. We didn't mean to go too far here. There's a couple earthquakes here around central Kamchatka, Russia area. Looks like ongoing eruption since about May 20th. I'll let you read this here from the bit. What is that?
Bezimiani.
What? What did you say?
You gonna have me read it?
So a little bit of activity. Yeah, I'll have you read that on the top note.
All right. Kvert reported that the effusive eruption of Bezimiani continued during
Good Lord, I could never pronounce that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
During April 8th through the 15th, along with incandescence of the lava dome, avalanches descending the southeast flank, and steam and ash emissions. A daily thermal anomaly over the dome was identified in satellite images. The aviation color code remained at yellow, the second lowest level on a 4-color scale. Dates are based on UTC times. Specific events are in local time where were noted.
So a little bit of ash emissions there from Russia volcano. This area in Alaska looks like there was a little bit of swarming activity. It has since died down at this volcano, what is that?
Edgecumbe, I'm guessing.
Edgecumbe?
I think.
In Alaska.
I'm sure I slaughtered that, but that's okay.
I was looking at this earlier. It looks like a little bit of local seismic activity. No major eruptions going on from any of these volcanoes. Krakatoa looks like a little bit of activity, some ash plumes earlier in the month of April, second week of April as well. But far as any long-term eruptions and major activity going on, we haven't seen that through any volcanoes there on the weekly report. And it's kind of something we watch periodically. I know we don't report on the volcano activity 24/7, but we do monitor it and we do pay attention to large-scale movement, ash emissions and stuff like that. Yes, periodically.
Unknown named wants to know any more storm chasing this year for us.
Storm chasing, gosh darn it, yes. I wish I could go storm chasing every day.
Right.
But we have an obligation here with some kids, and also the Earthquake channel here on the Earthmaster page. But we are looking at soon as we get a hurricane. So Missy Mimi's, of course, is crazier than I am. So she wants to experience a hurricane. So we're gonna do it, regardless if it's a Category 1 or a Category 5.
5 is what I want.
Well, if we want a 5, we're gonna have to be somewhere safe and not in a vehicle.
Oh yeah.
Out on flat land.
No.
I know Category 5 is very dangerous.
Yep.
That's all I know. But we are gonna experience a hurricane here sometime this hurricane season. So when it comes to in terms of storm chasing, yes, it's in the works for hurricanes. Localized chasing always happens. As far as Oklahoma and Texas goes, we're gonna look at that and see what we can work out in the mix. Right now, like I say, it's hard to take, and we wouldn't do it. We wouldn't be taking kids out there for any storm chasing. It's just not possible.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous, and it's not good for their safety. So we have to take that into consideration. So, but we're storm chasing locally. That's 100% chance.
Oh, yes.
Hurricane activity when that kicks up, guys. when that kicks up, we're definitely looking at a babysitter. Yeah, I had a couple adult beverages, and it took me forever to mow a 2.5 acre lawn. I do appreciate Missy Mimi's help. She helped me out a lot with weed eating and mowing as well. But man, I had to throw away a perfectly good pair of socks because I had probably a couple hundred of foxtails in my socks. Look it up on my Facebook page on the Earthmaster, and you'll see my photo.
I did see you posted it there.
I did post it proudly. I was pretty proud of my
Yeah,
socks.
if you guys are not, we know you're subscribed. If you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to all, so you never miss an update, never miss our crazy adventures. But also go to Twitter and Facebook, and we have our pages there for the Earthmaster. So please follow us, and
like the page.
You'll still see our craziness.
Yeah. So.
But if you want to view these foxtails, Facebook.
Yeah, go to Facebook and you'll see that I posted a couple pictures of my socks and my flip flops, and I'm very proud of them. So it's all good. I had a couple people asking me, why didn't I wear boots? Why didn't you wear boots?
Why not?
Well, that's almost like asking me, why didn't I wear a raincoat when I went outside in the rain?
Because
Like,
where's the fun in that?
I want to feel the weather. I want to feel the rain. I want to feel the wind. I want to feel the foxtails. It doesn't matter. I'm the Earthmaster, so I want to feel everything Earth related. So I hope you guys get it. I'm not arrogant when it comes to terms of protecting myself, but foxtails. To me, it doesn't matter. That's a little on the wimpy side. I'm not complaining about it one bit. All right, guys, what else we got here on the show? We've got to get a barbecue started. I know someone mentioned about barbecuing shrimp. I forgot the shrimp. I forgot it, guys. I'm sorry. Tonight we're going to barbecue some chicken quarters, and some tri-tip with, of course, what are we going to smoke it with?
Black walnut.
Black walnut bark.
Heck yes. Best bold flavor ever. Oh, gives us. I'm completely hooked.
Exactly. It's good stuff.
If you've never done it, try it.
Yeah, you guys definitely have to
soak it in some water and just it's so amazing.
Thanks. Who's that?
That's Cliff.
Installs.
Yeah.
Cliff, I appreciate it. Thanks for checking in there.
That's pretty funny.
What else we got, guys? What else do we have here? Robert, I appreciate it there. Who hasn't received Earthmaster decals?
I know we have a few waiting.
Okay, so we have a couple waiting. We're going to get on the ball tomorrow.
If you've been waiting, please shoot us another email so we don't have to, because just in case it's kind of back there a bit, because we are behind.
Yeah, send us, guys, Earthmaster email, or send an email to earthmastermail@gmail.com. That's my email. And
with your name and
look, somebody shared
address, Cindy.
I appreciate that, Cindy. That's pretty awesome there. I do appreciate you sharing that 100%. My Freebird, didn't we send Freebird some? Didn't you send her some?
I could have swore we did, unless she was in the mix of behind.
I could have swore you sent her a card.
No, that was Neeby.
Oh, okay, Freebird. All right. Freebird, please message us on the email earthmastermail@gmail.com. You have to send us your mailing address. If you want some free decals, we're going to send out some tomorrow.
And I'll send you a card too, because I love you too.
earthmastermail@gmail.com, okay?
Oh, well, we'll send them to you anyway, Freebird.
Right?
Woohoo!
Anyone else want any free decals? Send us an email. You have to send us an email at earthmastermail at gmail.com. That's the email.
With your name and your
name, address, mailing address, and such, and we'll send it out to you tomorrow. We've been slacking, but we're going to get on it tomorrow. We don't have any kids here, so it's a good day. It's a good opportunity to send out those decals. And we have a bunch. I have a lot.
Awesome, Cliff. Yeah, we send them internationally. So
internationally is not a problem. Yeah. Mexico, Canada, Philippines. We sent some out to India.
I think
doesn't matter, guys. Don't worry about where you're located. Send us your email or send us your mailing address, and we'll definitely get it out to you.
Yes, for sure.
So, All right, guys, earthmastermail@gmail.com for free decals. And we sent out hundreds before in the past. It took me forever to load up a bunch of envelopes with decals. And
Aren't you happy I'm here to help you now?
Right? Missy Mimi's does help out, but yeah, there's probably close to 1,000 that I've sent out, but Missy Mimi's has definitely helped out in terms of releasing that. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot to write down an address, load up an envelope, cut them up, and send them out. So I'm not worried about money, folks. I'm not worried about sending them out in terms of international. That's not an issue because you guys support me 100%. So this is kind of like a thank you for folks that do watch the channel. And that's it's our appreciation to send out free decals. And when it comes up to the 75,000 subscriber giveaway, I think you folks will be very happy. So
I think that's it, though. I think we are good.
What else we got, guys? I want to go start my barbecue. Some chicken and some tri-tip. And next time will be some shrimp.
Yummy.
All right, what else we got? Is that it?
I think so.
No major earthquakes going on. We got one earthquake out here right now around Greece at 4.0.
They've been, if you check the EMS,
I seen a little bit of swarm, yeah. Definitely a little bit of swarming around here.
Yeah.
Right now, though, 4.0 near, what's this trench right here? You guys see that? What is that?
That is I can't read it.
I'll let you be the announcer of that one.
Okay, give me a second.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
That is the Hellenic Trench.
Hellenic. All right.
Right out
next
there
to
Greece.
Next to the Sea of Crete.
Sea of Crete. Sea of Crete.
Right? All right, guys. We're gonna bounce out of here. Like I said, we are very, very close to 75,000 subscribers. Please make that happen by making sure you subscribe to this channel. If you're not a subscriber, why are you here? You gotta subscribe, guys.
Please subscribe. We love coming to you guys, and we'd like to come to your notifications a lot quicker too, rather than you having to search us out. So please like, share, subscribe, comment on the videos. We love to hear from you. Like he said, we read every comment.
I do.
Whether they're good or bad, positive, negative, we read them all. We love all our subscribers. That's why we do this. We want to come to you, not just because we enjoy plate tectonics and earthquakes
and geology,
but because we love to come to you guys and report. So, and we love to report on site when we get the chance. So yes, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we are almost to 75K. 75.
We're getting very close. 2,000 more, and we're done. But
and then we're on to 100K, guys. That's our main major goal. The only way to do it, though, is you guys are how we do it, and we're all a team, all of us.
100,000 subscribers. So right now, let's focus on 75K, and then we'll go from there. But I think it's going to be fun. We're going to be doing a drawing, and of course we'll be doing an entry video and whatnot. So we'll definitely put that into works more as the days come ahead and the subscription gets closer to the 75,000 subscriber level. So, all right, guys, have a good night. We're going to get out and do our little barbecue. Hope everyone has a glorious evening, and we will chat you guys sometime tomorrow.
Peace out, guys. Stay safe out there.
Have a good night, guys.